I'm Margie Taylor, your host, continuing our story about winemakers, entrepreneurs, and those that are totally excited about wine as the experts, right, Mike and Cathy Rape? So they are at the Ferm Meadery in downtown Conroe, and they have fermented wine. So what is fermented wine?
Well, first of all, thank you for having us on. And we certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here. And hopefully the experts will join us soon. Right now, it's just Cathy and I.
Okay.
All right. So
just play with it.
Yeah, we'll just go with it. We'll make some stuff up.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so what is mead? Mead is the oldest fermented beverage known to man. Not a lot of people know that. Some people think that wine is. Some people think that beer is. However, mead is the oldest fermented beverage known to man. And essentially, we are a winery. We are a winery just like BE, just like Bernhardt, just like all the others that you know and love, except our primary fermentable sugar is honey, whereas your typical winery is grapes. So that's what mead is. It's fermented honey.
You know, when you talk about fermented wine and mead wine, I think of Renaissance. I think of the Renaissance Festival. I think of that era a lot because they drank a lot of the fermented wine.
They do.
Yeah, so that's kind of what comes to mind for some reason.
So it's been a little bit pigeonholed as a medieval only and a particular style, and that was one of my motivations for wanting to experiment and learn about it, is because as it turns out, that's just one small thing that it can do, and because with mead, it's a little bit different from grape juice, because you just put your grape juice in the fermenter and it's, whatever concentration it is, that's the percentage of alcohol it makes. But with honey, you're diluting with the honey and the water, and depending on how much water you put with the honey, you have complete control over how much alcohol you're making. So you can make lower alcohol beverages, which are kind of new and up and coming. They're called session meads, or we call them draft meads in the tap room. And we're making
I was wondering what that meant.
6 or 7% or lower. They're under 7%. A little bit lighter, carbonated, like you could do with like spritzers and beer styles.
It's like a summer type wine, right?
Yeah.
Lighter, just like the beer people do their light beer.
Right, and you can make them sweet, you can make them dry. There's just such a broad spectrum, and
so it's kind of fun. You get to play with it.
Right. At the Renaissance Festival, and that's where a lot of people have had their first experience with mead, or more likely their only experience, and so it's a very sweet wine style typically, but again, you can make it sweeter, you can make it dry. In the Middle Ages, they did a lot of like florals and spices. They basically made what we're calling methaglins in the mead world. But that's just one little small genre of mead, and mead has lots of different flavors and possibilities.
Well, and you all have a lot of fun with it. I mean, you have a lot of different flavors. I mean, from different fruits and blackberries, raspberries, to peaches, to jalapenos, which
making mead like
really
a culinary
little
experience.
Spicy, apple pie. I saw that one. That one looks pretty good.
Yeah, we finally got it in the bottle last weekend, so it's
that looks
for everyone that has been.
If you've been on the waiting list for apple pie, now's the time.
Now's the time. So I think I've tasted the Earl Grey, and I really liked that. I don't know why, but I did. But I need to come in there and taste some more. So you are in downtown Conroe on Simonton.
Yeah, 225 Simonton Street, downtown Conroe, right across from the courthouse, and 2 doors down from the up-and-coming Burgers and Steakhouse.
Burger and Bordeaux.
I think that they're changing it.
Are they calling it Burger and Steak?
It's burger or
no,
it's Bordeaux and Steak, something like that. But we're excited about them coming in.
Whatever they are. I know the chef. Yes,
it's going to be good.
It's going to be good whenever they open. So that will be a good partnership. So how did you get started on this? Because I know you all have done different things, right? You come bringing your own experiences of doing things in the work world.
Now, how did we get started making mead, or how
all
did
of
we
it?
come to,
all of it. How did you get started?
I'll kind of start on the how we came to mead making. Of course, Cathy and I have been making wine at home for years, and it's been kind of a passion of ours, and where we can develop the taste of the wine or the final taste more to our liking and play with that. So I was on a work trip in Savannah, Georgia, years ago, and we had the opportunity to take Cathy with me, and we went to this place called the Savannah Bee Company, and it is an exotic varietal honey store. where they have everything from orange blossom to lahua to just many different varietals of honey. And we did a honey tasting. And when we were done with that, the lady goes, "Would you like to do a mead tasting?" Well, I have never heard of mead. Cathy has heard of mead through medieval literature and ancient literature and such. And I asked her what it was, and she goes, "Well, it's fermented honey." And of course, my winemaking mind is spinning, going, "It's fermented alcohol? Heck yeah, we'll do a tasting." So that's all it took for us, and we fell in love with it. We just kind of fell in love with the avenues it could go and the directions we could make it, and so that's where our mead making career really began, was at Savannah Bee Company. And
How long ago was that?
6-7 years ago,
Something like
roughly.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like forever and a day.
So you played with it?
We did, and of course that was the mead we had there was sweet. A lot of dessert style. I think that there was an apple pie there or some other cheesecake style,
Which you now
mead,
have.
which we now
Bananas
have, right?
Foster and
Bananas Foster.
cherry,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that a very desserty, decadent
Yeah.
meads.
So we started doing some research, and we found that most of the mead that was available to us was all sweet, and she and I are dry wine drinkers, dry wine makers, so we set out to start making our own mead based off of our winemaking experience, and thus it began. And we typically made mostly dry meads.
So how long have you been downtown? Last year? Wasn't it last year?
We opened in March, mid-March, so we're about 6 months old.
Yeah.
So was
Yeah.
that a little scary opening during COVID?
A bit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But
And-
you persevered and you moved on, and you've had some
Right.
good attendance in there.
Right, and COVID was sort of the trigger for us to move in that direction, because we have live event businesses. That was our bread and butter businesses were suffering from COVID. I guess basically a coma, not a lot of live event business to be had.
No.
And we had been toying with the idea of doing a meadery, and we were thinking, well, at least they can serve to go during COVID, whereas live events are just
You
gone.
have to reinvent
And
things.
so, we
Yes.
ended up with a year on our hands just about to move in this direction. So,
So what
Yeah.
kind of live events did you do before?
Event production. So
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
one of my companies is called Audiovisual Professional Group, and we do live events, corporate events, concerts.
Are you still doing that?
Yes, and to a degree.
To a degree. Okay.
To a degree. That company, as a matter of fact, it just sold to a company called Conference Technologies, Inc. out of Missouri.
Oh, your shirt.
So, yep, that's what the shirt says. So excited about that. It makes our family much bigger, so we're a stronger company today. But the other company outside of that, which was born from AVPG, was a company called 3 Phase Rentals, and we do power distribution, temperature control for events. We've done disaster relief work. But our primary avenue in 3 Phase Rentals is power distribution for events like the Catfish Festival. So we do
Big
all
events
the power distribution for
that need
Catfish
that.
Festival, Lone Star Rally, MS 150. So lots and lots
Large
of
events.
large events, right?
So you have the Ferm Meadery, and you've been expanding. You have live entertainment Friday and Saturday
Friday and
nights.
Saturday at the very least,
Because
right?
I know I've been posting that in my
Yeah, appreciate
weekly
it.
article. I don't always know who it is ahead of time because I got to write this, a little bit out. But you do have that, and they come in and play while they can. You do wine tasting, and you have a charcuterie board. Did I even pronounce that?
Charcuterie, right? Yeah.
Yes, whatever.
Lunchables for grown-ups.
Yeah.
I saw that mead. That was funny.
Yeah.
So lots of fun. You've had some good publicity about it as well, and I know you've been in the media for the different things that y'all are
We
doing.
have been, and
And
we're so grateful for all of that.
business is growing, right?
It is. It is. We never fully expected to launch out of the gate the way that we did. Number one, I think 2 weeks prior to our opening, the governor rescinded all of the mandates and let businesses open. So we were like, thank you, Lord Jesus, for that. So we're super thankful for that, and it just went nuts. After that, it seemed like every Friday and Saturday we were
People were
full.
waiting. I was seeing
was,
it
yeah.
on Facebook. There was like open,
Thursdays and Sundays
all
were
that.
hit and miss, but Friday and Saturday
You were the talk.
It was a madhouse, and
You were the talk.
That went on till about mid-July, and it started to wane since then. But I think it has a little bit to do with people vacationing in the middle of the summer. It's too hot to do anything.
But you are very community involved.
Absolutely.
You were part of the Bears, Etc. Event they had, and you're going to be at the Montgomery Wine and Music Festival that they're having on September 18th.
We are.
And then you're going to turn around and be part September 19th, the day after the Bridgewood Farms Fun Day Sunday Stroll that we talked about earlier. So, and probably more events than that I'm just not aware of yet.
Well, we hope so. Kathy and I are both Conroe, pretty much born and bred. And
did you go to Conroe High School?
We did. We both went to Conroe High School.
Class of 91.
Yeah, class of 89. So we want to be as involved in the community as time allows. And there's nothing that we wouldn't consider, and we certainly, love Conroe, which is why we're in downtown.
And it's growing.
It is.
But yet still has that historic charm.
It most certainly does.
People act like it was just invented. I'm like, slow down. It's been there a little while.
We started looking in downtown about a year ago, and there was nothing, absolutely nothing to be had.
Interesting.
We were probably this close to going to downtown Montgomery because we had a building down there that we had looked at, and then we would go look in Conroe, nothing. Then go look back at this building. Hey, this is great. Go back to Conroe, nothing. So we got the least.
I think there's a little more traffic in downtown Conroe. Isn't there foot traffic or so?
Yeah. Well, I think so, and it's growing,
Yes,
but
it is.
fortunately, we hooked up with Tay Bond and leased his building. It was like at the 11th hour.
He's in a new place on the corner.
He is. So it was kind of like the 11th hour that we got this place. And when we signed the contract, again, our hearts were dead set on downtown Conroe, and we found a place and we took advantage of it. It was exciting.
Right where we wanted to be.
But there was BE wasn't there, and we didn't know about BE coming. Foss wasn't there. We didn't know about Foss coming. Well, we had an idea about
Now
Foss.
it's rolling.
And now it's going nuts.
And 202,
so,
they just opened last year.
Yeah, so, Keith's expansion over there.
Oh,
is
yeah,
just
he's
going
got
to be
stuff going
phenomenal.
on all the time. It
gonna
was
be
slow for him at first,
It's gonna
but
be such a neat place to hang out. You can see
Oh,
a
yeah.
show at the theaters, have a drink, have a nice meal, just a really
just
great
walk.
place to walk.
And it is
spend
safe. People think
yeah.
it's not, but it really
is.
is. I've
Yeah.
been there all times of the day.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
I never worry about anything. I mean, there's all the restaurants. There's a lot of restaurants down there.
And
there's
here's-
shopping, too.
There is, and here's the cool thing about downtown Conroe. It's more of as far as the businesses are concerned, it's a family environment. You go
Yes.
to BE, they'll go, hey, have you been to the Ferm? You go to 202, hey, have you been to the Ferm? You come
It
to
is
the
family.
Ferm,
That's
and
why
you
I've
say-
worked with them since
and
2015. I've
Yeah.
worked with downtown Conroe because everybody knows each other. And we were doing the lockdowns. We went out and did videos of all of them and let them tell their
Yeah.
story because we all care about each other down there.
Exactly. I
You
mean,
know?
we have people that travel to our place from Katy, from Pasadena, from Galveston, from Huntsville, and I say, well, why are you here? Well, we love mead, and finally there's a meadery. And I'm like, well,
You're unique.
hold on. I appreciate that, but don't forget about the rest of downtown.
Well, that's nice.
Don't forget about BE and 202.
Everybody
While
works
you're
together.
here,
Well, and you're open Sundays. Blue Epiphany is not open Sundays,
Right.
but you can refer business back and forth. So, and then they do
Yeah.
that. Well, we're not going to be open, but you can go to the Ferm Meadery.
Yeah.
So we only have a couple minutes left. I know you have. You can get honey flights.
Absolutely.
And
I
try
the varietals
the different-
of honey,
different-
nectar sources.
Yes.
That's fun.
And you can get growlers to go.
Absolutely.
And tell me about what a growler is in case somebody
So,
doesn't know.
A growler is a glass jug. Our growlers are either 32 ounce or 64 ounce. And you can buy a growler and fill at a discounted rate anything that we have that's a draft mead or a session mead or anything 7% and below. So,
Not the high alcohol ones.
right. Not our,
Labeling requirements
yeah.
change when you get over 7% alcohol. So sending it out
Okay.
the door without this federal
You want to be in
label
compliance.
is
we
exactly.
just
Being
can't
compliance.
pour
That's a big
12
deal,
We
being
can't pour
in-
12, 13%.
Whatever
alcohol.
TABC
Right,
says
yeah.
is what you got to do.
We're going to follow the rules.
Absolutely.
So,
So
we got to
you
do as much as we can. Wink, wink. Yeah.
So you can go to the
100%
Ferm Meadery on Facebook or the fermmeadery.com and see what they have going on. You can see all the different levels of mead wine and the alcohol content and the different varietals of all of that. And just go by and check them out. 225 Simonton. It's an easy walk. I mean, you're right there between Thompson and Main Street, right by the courthouse. Everybody knows where the courthouse is. And it's worth the drive from the Woodlands. right?
It's a worth drive
From anywhere.
From anywhere.
From anywhere. Houston. Come on.
Come on down.
So, anything
Or
else?
up.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so. I think it's pretty well covered, but we would certainly love to visit and talk with anybody that's never experienced mead before. I love nothing more than having someone come in and say, I've never had mead. Well,
There
that
you
triggers
go.
something in me in the education part, because that's important to educate people on what mead
And
is.
you're open every day?
We are open currently Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Thursday from 4 to 8 ish. When I say a closing time, it's always ish. We never kick anyone out. Friday is 2 to 9 ish. Saturday is
12.
2 to 9.
12
2 to
noon at
noon
is
on
our opening
Saturday.
time on Saturday.
And Sunday is 2 to 6.
So Friday, Saturday, and Sundays afternoons, Thursdays 4 to 8-ish.
Yeah. yeah.
So, okay.
And as we as Conroe starts to expand and grow, we'll probably open up
Adjust.
on Wednesday and just maybe keep Monday and Tuesday closed.
Okay.
Gotta have a couple of
Well, thank you
recovery
very
days.
much, Mike
You're
and
more than
Kathy.
welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.